Hey guys, welcome back to YMCA 360 Houston. My name is Liz, and I'm going to take you through your practice today. We're going to do some yoga, just some light stretching, so just an easy class. All you're going to need today is a mat, maybe a block if you need it, or a towel if you don't have your mat, and grab some water and get your stuff ready. We'll meet you back here in just a few seconds. All right, so we are going to get started. Like I said, today's going to be an easy class. So we're going to really focus on that mind-body connection today. We really want to try to get control of our breath so that our breath moves with our body. So we're going to start just standing up nice and tall. I want your feet about 2 fists apart, so right underneath the hips. I want you to turn those toes down into the mat. Draw your belly in, tuck the tailbone under, engage your core. Tighten your quads, roll your shoulders back. Lift the crown of the head all the way up towards the ceiling. And start to slow down that breath. So if you're comfortable, you can start to close your eyes here. Inhaling. Exhaling. If you'd like, you can bring one palm over your heart and the other hand right at your belly button. Just so you can feel the rise and fall of your chest and feel that breath as it moves through the body. So as you inhale, the belly decompresses. The chest rises up as it fills up with air. And as you exhale, the chest falls. You feel all the air leave the body. We'll do that again. Inhale and exhale. So again, taking just a few moments, closing your eyes if you're comfortable. Trying to slow down your breath, giving this next block of time to yourself to be present here on your mat, pushing out all distractions. Connecting that breath, inhaling and exhaling. So stay with that breath here. We'll take another few breaths here, standing tall in your mountain, your Tadasana pose. Crown of the head is up, shoulders back, tailbone tucked under, lifting the chest as you pull in all the air, and exhale, let it go. So from here, we're going to bring the hands back behind you. I want you to interlace those fingers, pull the palms together, lift the chest, lift the gaze just a little bit. So keep that tailbone tucked under. We're not arching the spine. We're pulling the shoulder blades back, pulling the palms in towards each other, pressing the feet down into the mat, inhaling and exhaling. So you can stay there. We're going to start to release that bind, roll the shoulders back. So back in that mountain, we're going to bend the knees, inhale, and exhale. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up, exhale. Last one, we're going to inhale up, and this time as you exhale, forward fold. So tuck the chin, push out all the air, let the head hang, let the shoulders hang. Let's heel toe those feet out just a little bit wider. We're going to reach over, grab hold of the elbows, and gently sway the hips back and forth. Stay with that breath. You can start to bend the knees. You can shake your head yes. Shake your head no. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, maybe walk those hands down towards that left foot. Close the space between your left knee and your nose. Push out all the air to create a little bit more space. Coming back to the other side, push out the air. And then walk those hands back into center. Tuck the chin, forward fold, and then let's heel toe those feet right back to center. Inhaling, walk the hands up halfway, so come into a half lift. Shoulders pull back, press the hips all the way back and away. So think about not rounding the spine, and you don't want to drop into the belly, so flatten that back. Shoulders pull back, hands rest at your hips. Staying with that breath. On your next exhale, forward fold. So wherever you're at, we're going to walk those hands out in front of you. Feet come back into a downward facing dog. So in your down dog, I want your fingers spread, palms flat on the mat. Feet should be right back behind you, pressing those heels down into the mat. Inhaling, looking back towards your toes. And exhaling. Slowing down that breath. So start to shift the weight from the left foot to the right, walking your dog. This is going to be the hardest part of the class here. Press those heels down, spread the fingers, push the palms. And then use your exhale. We're going to set those knees down, coming into a flat back. So tabletop here. So arms are in a straight line, shoulders, elbows, wrists are stacked. Knees are right underneath the hips. Tuck the tailbone, press the hands down into the mat. Inhaling and exhaling. From here, we're going to bring the knees out to the edges of your mat. Big toes come together. Shift your hips back and come into a child's pose. So we're going to walk our hands out in front of us to come into an extended child's pose. So we're getting a little bit of stretch down the side of the body here. You're also pressing the hips all the way back towards the heels. Your goal here is to try to melt your chest down into your mat. You can turn your gaze down, maybe turn into your cheek or your forehead, your choice. Slowing down that breath. So staying here for about 3 or 4 of your breaths. Slow it down, speed it up, whatever you'd like. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to walk the hands in halfway. Use your inhale. Lift back up to hands and knees. So that nice flat back here. Turn those toes under. And from here, we're going to send that right leg back behind you. Flex that back foot. So I don't want you here opening the hips. We're trying to keep the hips square so you're using your core to stay lifted off the mat. You can stay here. If you're feeling comfortable and you're feeling strong, you want to add in the opposite arm. Reach that left arm out in front of you, coming into a spinal balance. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to set it down. and go into spinal balance on the other side. So first we send that leg back, flex the foot. Keep the spine long, so your gaze should be down at your mat. Inhale, reach that right arm forward. Reach that arm out like you're shaking someone's hand. So thumb is all the way up towards the ceiling. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. Set it down on your exhale. And we're going to do 3 more on each side. So when you're ready, right foot comes back, left arm forward. That thumb is up like you're shaking someone's hand. Gaze is down towards your mat. And set it down. Inhale, lift. Reach that arm out. Flex that back foot. Exhale, set it down. 2 more. Connect the breath to the movement. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you set it down. Last one on each side. Nice deep inhale, lift up. Set it down. So back in your table, I want you to turn your toes under. Tuck the chin, round the spine, push the hands away from the mat, coming into cat pose. As you inhale, drop the belly, flatten the toes, open the chest, come into cow. Exhale all the air around the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, press those hands down into the mat. So in your cat and cow, we'll do 2 more cats and 2 more cows. Follow your breath. So as you inhale, press those hands down, press the top of the feet down. So we call this cow pose because the cow has heavy udders pulling down at the midsection. As you exhale, you round the spine like an angry cat arching her back. Push the hands down, push out all the air. Inhaling. And exhaling. So we'll come back to neutral spine. We're going to walk those knees all the way over to the side, and we're going to wrap our legs around. So I'm sideways on the mat so I can show you guys. We're going to hold that right foot in. Left foot reaches out in front of you. So flex that left foot. Toes are up towards the ceiling. Turn to the side so you can see we're sitting up tall. We're not slouching back. So sit up nice and tall. Inhale. As you exhale, walk those hands all the way down. Try to close the space between your knee and your nose. So it's okay here to have this knee bent. You don't have to have your legs straight. That's okay. We're trying to close the space between your chest and your thigh, or your knee and your nose. So you do that by using your exhale to create a little bit more air. Slow the breath. Inhaling. And exhaling. We're going to bring those hands on the leg. Walk the hips up. Come back up to center. Switching sides. So we're going to send that right leg out. Left foot tucks in. So that left foot can be all the way in, resting on the inside of this long leg. Remember, flex the foot, pull those toes in, sit up tall, shoulders back, and exhale. Walk those hands down the leg, fold over that knee. Push out all the air. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming back up to center. And then from here, we're going to send both legs out. We're coming into our staff pose. So sitting up nice and tall, shoulders roll back, flex the feet. Hands can come down at your side. Point the toes as you exhale. Inhale, flex the feet. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders roll back. And use your exhale to walk those hands down, folding forward over your front legs. So if this is your seated forward fold, awesome. If you can get a little bit lower, awesome. If this is what your seated fold looks like, even better. Whatever works for you as you listen to your body and you move through your practice. So I don't want you to push yourself because I'm telling you to do something else. Listen to your body, do what you know works and feels good for you. Try to connect that breath to your movement, using your exhale to fold a little bit deeper. If you turn your gaze down towards your legs, that'll automatically close the space just a little bit more. So this should get a nice stretch down the back of the body, stretch down the back of those legs. So you can have legs straight or knees slightly bent here, your choice. And just think about slowing down that breath. From here, we're going to bring that right hand to the blade of the right foot. Left arm lifts up and turn to look over that left shoulder. So you probably don't look quite all the way back over that shoulder, but as far back as you can. Stay with that breath. Keep breathing. One more breath. We're going to switch sides. So same arm, same leg. Left hand grabs hold of that left foot. Right arm reaches up and back. Push out all the air as you turn and look over that shoulder. That hand that's back behind you, thumb is up towards the ceiling. Taking another breath here. And then exhale back to center. We're going to fold again for 2 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Use your next inhale to start to walk those hands up the legs, sitting up nice and tall. And from here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, coming into a butterfly pose. So whatever is comfortable for you, you want to feel a little bit of a stretch, but you also want to have your breath non-restricted in your pose. So wherever you need to, move those feet out. As long as you're sitting up tall, soles of the feet are together, and you can breathe evenly. That's the goal of the pose. So we can stay here, pushing the knees down to the edges of the mat. You can go a little bit deeper by pulling the soles of the feet apart, opening them up like a book. Pressing the knees out to the side, sitting up nice and tall, so don't round that spine, shoulders back. Crown of the head is still lifted. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Sitting up a little bit taller with your inhale. And then we're going to bring the knees together. We're going to send that right leg out in front of you. So this left foot we're going to grab hold of, bring it in a little bit closer. Remember that nice long spine, so no slouching. Engage the core here. Draw the belly in. Sit up tall. We're going to reach around with the opposite hand. Grab hold of that knee. Pull it in towards the body. Left arm reaches all the way back and turn turn and look over that back shoulder, pushing out all the air when you twist. Inhaling and exhaling. So if you've got that block, if you need it, you can bring it back behind you, kind of lift up that back arm just a little bit. We're going to keep this right foot flexed. So pushing out all the air, getting a nice spinal twist here. And then exhale back to center. Shake out the legs, switch to the other side. So pulling that foot in, flex the opposite foot. Reach around, grab hold of that knee, tug it in towards the body. Right hand reaches back, sit up tall, push out the air. Take a moment here to try and connect that breath. Send your breath all the way down the spine, into your hips. Inhaling and exhaling. So we're not folding out to the side, we're still sitting up tall. And then exhale, come back to center. We're going to bring those knees in. So walk those feet in. We're going to grab hold of that right leg and roll back into your mat. So from here, we're going to go into our bridge pose. So if you know that you need to bring those heels in a little bit closer for your bridge, go ahead. You can have hands flat or reach over, grabbing the edges of your mat. So first, set those feet in, ground those feet down into the mat. Inhale, squeeze the glutes and lift the hips up for 3 full breaths. Slow breaths. Pressing the heels and the toes down into the mat. The head stays flat. Little bit of lift in the neck here, keeping the chin lifted up off the chest. And then exhale, slowly lower down. So you can windshield wiper those legs back and forth. We're going to take a breath. And then we're going to do 3 more bridges for 2 to 3 breaths each. So work at your own pace. Do what feels good for you. So we're trying to tighten up the core and the quads and the glutes here to create a little bit of lift as you inhale. Pressing the heels down into the mat, pressing the hands down, keeping the chin lifted, keeping the chest lifted. Using your exhale, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Windshield wiper those knees back and forth. Take a breath. Coming back to center, we've got 1 more. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. Try to keep those knees together. Use a little bit more core to keep those knees pressed in towards each other. Keeping the hips lifted. Inhaling and exhaling. 1 more breath. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down. So from here, let's bring those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. You can rock side to side. Slow down that breath. We're going to come back to center, plant the feet. And from here, we're going to bring the feet right to the edges of the mat. We're going to bring those knees together and reach those palms up towards the ceiling. So just turning those palms up, hands are down at your side. Rest those knees in towards each other. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, let it go. 1 more breath. So we're going to start to walk those feet back in. Bring the knees back in for another hug. Wrap those arms around. From here, we're going to go into our final spinal twist here. We're starting to wrap up our class. So we're going to bring those knees, push them all the way down to the right side. Left arm reaches all the way out. So we always want to turn and look in the opposite direction that our hips are facing. So that really allows you to get that full deep twist here when your hips are facing the opposite direction. So nice deep twist, turning to look over towards the opposite shoulder, pushing out all the air as you exhale. Maybe closing your eyes if you're comfortable. Just taking a moment here to connect to that breath. You can use that right hand to place at your chest if you need to. Drawing back to that breath that we started with. Drawing your awareness in towards the rise and fall of your chest. And then let's bring that gaze back to center. Knees come in and bring them all the way over to the other side. So left side now, right arm reaches out. Push out all the air as you turn and look over towards that right thumb. Knees are all the way down. So again, you can use that opposite arm to reach over. Place it on your chest. Find the rise and fall of your chest here. So in yoga, our twists are really good to wring out any toxins left in the body. They really help to get rid of all that stress that we carry around in our hips and our lower back. The deeper the twist, the more the benefit is. So the deeper you're looking, or the farther you're looking in the opposite direction that the knees are facing, then the deeper the twist that you get. We're going to take one more breath here. And then we're going to bring the gaze back to center. Knees come all the way back in. And then from here, we're going to rest those legs all the way out in front of you. So let your feet fall to the edges of the mat. Palms can be up, fall out to the side. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale all the air. So if you're comfortable here, maybe take a moment just to close your eyes. Connect back to that breath that we started with. Maybe you want to bring your hands to heart, one hand on your stomach. Slow down the breath. So giving these next few minutes to yourself. We have just a few more moments left of class. Take a nice deep breath in. Fill up the lungs, fill the belly, fill the chest up with air. And as you exhale, let it go. So you can return to your normal breathing now. Just slowly pause it here and take a few more moments if you need them. You can start to draw your knees in. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll over into your favorite side of the body. Just taking another moment here to relax and breathe. And then when you're ready, using your top arm for strength, pushing all the way up, sitting up nice and tall at the top of your mat. Crown is lifted, shoulders back. Inhale the arms all the way up, bringing the palms together at heart. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.